Oh, it's you guys again. I just finished coming from Sonic, got me a cheeseburger, small water, and some tater tots. And I need some help calculating a few questions that I have on my receipt. So in the next scene, we're going to work on some decimal problems that relate to the real world. Because even when you go to Sonic or any place to eat, you should know how to do your decimal operations. So I'm going to help you with that. Catch you in the next scene. Alright guys, so in this problem sheet, which you should have already grabbed by now, we're going to be working through some problems so that I can help you guys see that our decimal operations are not just basic math problems. They're something that we need to use in the real world. So as we're going through each one of these problems, I want you to pause before I get to solving the actual problem and see if you can solve it independently. So if we look at the sheet, the first thing that we can see is that it's titled, What the Math? So basically this is just describing the fact that I had a burger craving, so I went to Sonic. So here you can see my real receipt. The first thing I want to do is calculate my total, including the tax, which is listed here. You can pause the video now to see if you can solve for the total. Alright, now that you're back, we're going to go ahead and see if we can solve the total here. Now we could do this several ways. We could go ahead and add everything up since it's lined up here, or we could break this actually into sections, which I'm going to do now. Whoa. Alright. Back on track. Alright, so I'm going to come over to the side and I'm going to add 0.25 plus $3.99, and then I'll come back to you with the solved portion. Alright, so as you can see, when I add the first two numbers, my answer is $4.24. I'm going to go ahead and add the third number here, which is $1.19, and I'll be right back. Okay, when I added these two, my answer was $5.43. So now I'm going to add my tax and get my total. When I add my tax, my final answer is going to be $5.81. As you can see, as I added everything, I was very sure to keep my decimal places lined up because that's what you do when you add decimals. Now let's move to the next problem. Before we do that, though, we're going to actually write our answer up here. So my second problem, my mom offered to split the bill with me. So how much would we each pay? I want you to pause the video here and see if you can solve it and then come back for the answer. Alright, so whenever I'm solving a problem like this, I want to look at what the problem is actually saying, what the situation is. My mom offered to split the bill with me, okay? In my mind, split means divide, okay? And how many people are actually dividing this? Me and mom, so that equals 2. So that means we're going to split this amount by 2. So, come back and see how we set this up. Just how I taught you all, whenever we set up a division problem, we set it up the way we read it. So if this is $5.81 divided by 2, I'm going to write it $5.81 divided by 2. Alright, come back for the solved answer. I figured it would be better for us to just solve it together, so let's do it. First of all, 2 can go into 5 2 times. We know that 2 times 2 is 4, so we're going to subtract this, which is going to give us 1. We're going to be sure to put our decimal point right above in the quotient, and then bring down our 8 right beside the 1, giving us 18. We know that 2 can go into 18 9 times. And when we subtract 18 from 18, because 9 times 2 is 18, we get 0. We're going to bring down our 1. Clearly, 2 cannot go into 1, so we're going to put a 0 in front of the 2, which means we need to add a 0 here and bring it down. 2 can go into 10 5 times. 5 times 2 is 10, which zeroes us out. So the amount that me and my mom would be paying, as you can see, is $2.905. But of course, when we round that off into number terms, we're going to end up paying $2.91 1 cent each. Okay, let's move to the next problem. If I wanted to take off the order of small tater tots for my meal, how much would the order be? Well, first of all, I'm looking at the situation and I see take off. To me, that means subtraction. What am I subtracting from? I'm subtracting from my meal. So that means I am subtracting my meal cost minus however much the tater tots cost, which we can see is right here. Okay, so let's come back over and we'll set our problem up. $5.81 minus $1.19. Okay, I cannot take 1 from 9, so I'm going to borrow from here, turning this into a 7 and this 1 into an 11. Okay, so then 9 minus 11 is going to give me 2. Okay, 7 minus 1 is going to give me 6. And 5 minus 1, of course, is going to give me 4. So that means if I take the tater tots off of my meal, my final total, and I'm going to make sure I circle these, my total amount is going to be $4.62. Okay, let's move to the next problem. 3 of my friends called when they found out where I was and wanted the exact same order as me. What would the total be with their food and mine combined? Okay, so I got 3 friends who want the same exact order as me. So they were like, hey girl, we want the cheeseburger, we want the water, we want the tater tots. Okay, and we pay you back. We'll see about that. So, just because this says total doesn't mean we're necessarily going to be adding. We can add, but there's a simpler way to this. First of all, how many people are involved? There's me, my first friend, my second friend, and my third friend, which means there's 4 people. Okay? And they want the same exact order as me. I know my total order from earlier was $5.81. So how can I do this? I can multiply. Okay, so if I set this up, I'm going to set it up like this. $5.81 times 4. I'll be back with the answer. Now with multiplication problems, remember that you don't have to set it up by decimal places, but you do have to calculate decimal places at the end. So when I've gone ahead and multiplied out, my final answer is going to be 2324. Now I need to figure out how many spaces to go over, and I can count the number of spaces in my problem. Okay, I can see I have 2 spaces, so that means I need to move over 2 spaces. 1, 2. So that means my total amount that I'm going to be paying is going to be $23.24. So you know what? My friends better pay me back. Okay. Now that you're finished with learning how decimal operations work in the real world, you're going to get involved in a scavenger hunt activity. So see the scavenger hunt video for more details. Toodles!